You know, from the lot of people saying that there are submerged structures below. This is one place, maybe an isolation. But if 3 or 4 structures along the coastline, if they give us some good unified...
And if you can plot the relationship of the structures to each other.
We should put all the data together. And
well, it seems to be an area that deserves more research.
Mysterious.
Mysterious, exactly.
A couple of months after I dived at Pumpahar, a news story, not picked up elsewhere, appeared in the Indian press announcing the discovery of 2 lost cities 120 feet under the sea off northwest India. Precisely where Glenn Milne's maps had shown a huge loss of land at the end of the Ice Age. I felt as though I was being shown the Holy Grail. Nothing could stop me from going there. In 2001, a team of geologists from India's National Institute of Ocean Technology made a series of startling discoveries in the Gulf of Cambay. Their sonar readings show evidence for 2 huge cities 120 feet underwater. And a sample they've collected from the seabed has been carbon dated to the end of the Ice Age. The NIOT experts aren't archaeologists. They were doing pollution studies in the Gulf. But what they found is of massive archaeological significance. Could these flooded cities be the proof I've been looking for, which joined to archaeology?
Initially, when we went, we thought probably we'll be on an early Harappan site. But after seeing all the artifacts and evidences what we have collected, it looks that they are before the Harappan period.
Which means, in the end, that history is going to have to be looked at again.
Definitely, maybe this is the beginning of a major discovery for the world.
I think so. I think so. It's the scale of the sites which is so exciting.
It looks like a twin city or a twin metropolis of ancient times.
Right, right.
The cities are located right in the area that Glenn Milne's sea level rise data shows was flooded between 7,000 and 8,000 years ago. This was at the very end of the Ice Age and was the last of 3 major pulses of meltwater release that have been identified by geologists.
One city is more than 8 kilometers long, other one is almost 9 kilometers.
These are enormous.
Enormous, yeah. Both of them appears to be along 2 river courses.
A natural place for humans to settle.
Yeah. Can have a look here.
This is a treasure trove.
Next, Dr. Badranarian took me to see some of the artifacts they've recovered by dredging the underwater sites.
These are our micro tools, where you can see various shaped thin objects, well polished, to use them for various purposes.
It's like a spoon.
Spoon, yeah. You can see it's the shape of a deer they have made.
Well, it's very interesting because it's carved the same on both sides.
Human remains include a fossilized jawbone and vertebrae. And the artifacts show that these people were skilled in making pottery, jewelry and other ornaments.
This seems to have been almost like turned on some sort of...
Yeah, it appears to be a very good artifact. Probably they had a sort of hand instrument to turn all these things. If you see, there's a hole also they have made through that.
And this hole runs all the way through it?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. So this is absolutely definitively a man-made object.
Yeah, we did not know what it was.
Most startling of all, a stone slab was discovered with raised markings which could push back the date of the invention of writing to the end of the Ice Age.
Yeah. This is some of the images we have picked up in the...
Sub-bottom profiling, a technique that detects materials buried beneath the seabed, reveals the city's massive foundations.
In between the seabed, you'll be seeing soft material. Right. This is the foundation of
which has quite a different character from the rest. So this is building foundation.
Building foundation. Right. And you can see that they are very regularly spaced.
Indeed. Which are walls. Really.
Yeah, walls.
But a bigger surprise came from the side-scan sonar, a beam passed along the seabed to detect solid objects. The images show sophisticated geometrical structures.
It's looking down on the seabed, these very right-angled structures.
Yeah, these are about 77 meter by about 40 meter.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a series of steps going down.
Looks like
it's
buildings.
not anything that you normally come across in a marine, this one.
No.
It is obviously man-made.
Yeah.
But Dr. Badranarian had something even more spectacular to show me, which looks like a citadel.
Something very different than what you see now.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
You see very square features.
Yeah,
and
I can
this
see a
is
lovely series of right angles here.
They are all platform-like features.
Yeah.
The present length of this is about 98 meters.
We've created a computer simulation of the citadel. It gives some idea of the ambition and extent of the great buildings for so long lost beneath the waves. How long might this society have existed before it was flooded? All I want to do is go diving right away. But it's December 2001, there's political tension in the neighborhood, and Indian naval intelligence has politely but firmly declined my request to dive. Even the NIOT scientists themselves haven't dived yet, and until they do, or someone does, a question mark must hang over the claims that are being made. But the case is getting stronger all the time. A month after I met them, the NIOT released the results of carbon dating on the artifacts recovered from the sunken cities. The results caused a sensation around the world. One of the objects was dated to 7,500 BC. That's 4,500 years before the cities of Mesopotamia and Egypt. How long would it have taken a civilization that was already here 9,500 years ago to build cities on this scale? We could be looking at a previously unknown high culture in existence around the coastal margins of India from perhaps as much as 12,000 years ago. And that's precisely the period when the U-shaped structure at the bottom of the Bay of Bengal was last on dry land. If we take the ancient flood myths seriously, instead of writing them off as primitive fantasies, as so many archaeologists do, then they can point us towards new discoveries. Discoveries that could rewrite history. I'm going to head east to put to the test one more set of myths, and a mysterious people who we already know were doing extraordinary things at the end of the Ice Age.
More next week, same time. To get Graham Hancock's book, Underworld, price £20, call 08701234344 or go to channel4.com history, where Graham will also be taking part in a live web chat. Give him just a few minutes. Now, a blast of film action-adventure is up next. Robert Rodriguez gives his El Mariachi the Hollywood treatment, and it stands up as one brilliant remake. Antonio Banderas, Salma Hayek, and a typically informed Steve Buscemi. It's an absolute rush with Desperado.